basically by the time it's said and done, by the time she gets it, so she needs to fake everything for 5 years. She deserves a really good good Oscar and all nominations if she can fake it.
Richie Rich. I lived in China for 8 years and speak very fluent Mandarin. Yes, Chinese women want foreign men, but be careful what you wish for. Be warned, they aren't different than Western women. You know, that's interesting because, look, there are obviously different cultures we're dealing with, right? You have the culture in China, you have the culture here in the West. Not every woman in the West is the same.
Yes.
Not every woman in China is the same. You have the influence that the cultures give us both here and there, but then people are going to be themselves. They're going to be different, right? So you have that kind of basis. So yeah, Richie Rich, I understand what you're saying, but you know, and a lot of things like we talked about tonight, like how do you know a woman, you know, and a man are, you know, together? Why? It's the chemistry. Well, that's the same everywhere. That's universal. Many of the things that we talked about tonight are universal.
Yes.
So just because you go to another country, yes, you can find women that you're not going to get along with that remind you of women here that you didn't get along with. Absolutely. You can find that anywhere. But there are differences in culture. And when you go to these different cultures, you can find women that are emblematic of that. And I think it's very interesting. So, yeah.
I really love the city and so many beautiful women.
Gilbert, are these women just pretending to be traditional to attract Western men? Well, how do you pretend to be traditional, and what's the point to attract Western men? You know, ladies have a nice life, you know, at least for the most of it in their countries. It's not, you know, you guys think like they're sitting there desperate, hoping for some, you know, Prince Charming with a blue passport show up at their doorstep and save them. But no, it doesn't work like that. Yes, they do want to find a good, reliable husband to create a good family, you know, have kids and all that, but they're not looking forward to quit their jobs, leave their family behind, and not, you know, seeing their friends for years at a time, just to move a foreign country with no, you know, no love, no support, you know, it's some stranger. And you know, you hear those horror stories about, you know, green card scams, you know, people marrying for green card, but it takes a really, really long time to, you know, get the green card and citizenship. Just think about, you know, when you meet a lady, you know, and you start dating, you get engaged. Then you file for a fiancé visa. So fiancé visa nowadays takes about a year plus minus. So you're already dating for a year before her visa is approved and she can come here. So imagine if she's faking all her beliefs, her core values. She's a good actress, but then she comes here and she needs to, and you file for green card. So you're waiting another year for that green card. So it's 2 years she's, let's say, faking it. But it's also a conditional green card, and she can keep, you know, she can keep it only if she's still married to you. So 3.5 years later, yes, she can file for citizenship based on a marriage. Again, if marriage is still in a good place. So basically, by the time it's said and done, by the time she gets it, so she needs to fake everything for 5 years. Well, she deserves a really good Oscar and all nominations if she can fake it. So no, that doesn't work like that. And I would suggest to date for, you know, a little longer, of course, to get to know each other really well, because to make sure that you're right for each other. You know, when people just meet, they fall in love instantly, and they don't ask important questions. They don't ask, well, how do you see your life in the future? What do you want to do? Do you want to work? Do you want to be at home mom? Do you want to have a career? Do you want to go to college? You know, also, what's your expectations of me? What do you want, you know, how do you see my role in the family? So those things need to be discussed while you're dating, because a lot of people don't talk about it. They think as soon as the lady you know, arrives in America, everything magically gonna come into place. You know, it's gonna be wonderful, and she probably thinks the same. But then in reality, she comes here, and people find out that they're not compatible. So they want totally different things. One has, for example, high energy level. The other one has a low energy level. I don't know, he likes to watch Wheel of Fortune at night, and she likes to hang out with her friends at a nightclub. It just, you know, doesn't go anywhere after a while. So it's important to discuss everything.
Are you ready to get started? Sign up and connect with these real women.
Check out our website at
China-brides.com